think my favorite thing about this is going to be watching my hair dry again over the course of this week, because last week it was soaking wet when we started and it was totally dry and frizzy by the end of it. So we'll see what it looks like today. Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome back to session 33 with the Little Wolf Knits, who is me, Brianna, and I am the dyer, designer, and human behind the Little Wolf Knits and this little corner of YouTube. If you're just checking in for the first time, welcome to my podcast. If you're coming back, welcome back. It's so nice to hang out with you again for another week. I feel like I have so much to talk about today and also not much at all. So we'll see how long this one is, but just in case, grab a cup of something, grab your making, and let's dive in. First, I guess let's talk about what I'm wearing, right? It's 70 degrees out, which is nice out. It's just, I'm inside and it's chilly, so I threw on a shawl. This is I'll take it off. It's my Barrier Reef shawl by Sarah. I always forget. It is her only design on Ravelry, but it's so beautiful and I love it. And in case you've never seen this before, the colorways I use for this are High Tide. This one is White Caps, and this one is Down the Shore. And then this MC, this tan MC on this side, is Driftwood. It is a giant shawl and it is so cozy and I love it. And if you're around this fall, you'll know that when I got this new top, this was my at least once a week uniform because I loved it so much. But we have it back on today. It is bright and sunny, even though it's a little chilly in here, and it is making me so happy. Before we talk about FOs, I'm not even going to do a little music intro thing. There's not that much as far as housekeeping. The only thing I will say is the Cozy Peaks and Cheeks Mal is still going on through the end of this month. I've talked about it a million times, so go check out some of my other videos or my Instagram where you can see my post talking about the Mal and all of the things that we are doing. But since that is the only thing I have to talk about housekeeping, let's jump into all of the things I finished. Yes, all of the things I finished. Why all of the things, do you say, Brianna? Because I have 5 things. Technically, I'm counting 5 things as finished objects this week. I don't think I've ever had 5 finished objects that I have actually finished within a week of podcasting. I have had 5 finished objects when I've taken several weeks off and then come back to you. But I have been knitting my life away, and I love every single thing I'm doing. First, let's start with the thing, let's go in chronological order. Let's go with the thing I finished first. You've seen this one. It is so good. There's something about holding things up to the camera, man, that really get me. Unfortunately, this is not for me, which makes me very sad, but this is my Central Ave cabled crop that I made for Sophia for her birthday. And it is in my classic on 420 yarn. So it's the classic colorway on 420. It is like this lovely purpley brown. And it has these fun, like easy cables on the sides, this fun cable down the center, super deep armholes, like super deep because it is meant to be layered, and a short little body because it's just a little crop to throw over things. I love to throw it over a big oversized button up or a fitted turtleneck. And it's really perfectly like transitional for this time of year. I feel like I wear it a lot in the fall. I wear it all winter, honestly, but I also wear it a lot through the spring. and even we'll layer it over just like a cotton t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt. I've never done short sleeves, but I think it could be really cute. I'm actually going to try playing around with layering it under overalls or a little jumpsuit, because I think it could be awesome. So this is FO number 1. It is completely done. Ends are woven in and snipped. You know, I don't snip those until after it is blocked and dried. And I'm just going to set this aside. I'm folding it nicely. And I'm going to wrap this up to give Sophia next week for her 30th birthday. Isn't that crazy? But this is FO number 1. And I didn't say that is a pattern by me. It is currently in testing, and testers are wrapping up. It is going so quickly. I really swear it's going so quickly. Some of my testers finished in 1 week, which is awesome, because I know that's what I do, but I know that's not normal to only have one project and just get it done. So it's cool to see other people, but the plan is for that one to come out late March, end of this month. So just about 2 weeks from now, you will see that pattern available to the public, which is super cool. Then the second thing I finished, we're going to jump back and forth here, was my first and definitely not last, what's this called? Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Look at it. It's so cute. You seam up the back. And this is in my Falkland pink fiber sample. And this is for one of my nieces, Michael's sister's daughter, who loves little things. She is 2, and she loves like cowls and shawls and things. So I think she's going to love this one. This is a pattern that's really cool. I'll talk about what I did because I actually changed the pattern a little bit. I was going to say I don't do it often, but I guess I do. I just don't follow other people's patterns often. What I did, so this pattern is written for a DK weight yarn, but it also has like knit to measurements if you want to use alternative weights. And it gives suggestions for needle sizes and grams that you'll need to make the different weights. So this is my hand spun, and this is I was getting a sport weight. Oh, you know what? I can show you right here in my little spinning journal. I can tell you my yardage and what I was getting for these. I was getting a sport weight. I was getting 348 yards per 100 grams, but this was only about 53 grams. Now, Andrea Mowry suggested that testers used about 60 grams. I don't know if that included her like 10% allowance, but 53, I was like, I think I can make it work, and I did. I even made it a little bit larger than the toddler size. Again, she's 2, so it looks really small, but I swear I've tried it on my head and it goes over my head. Now, the thing that I did, and I don't know how to say this without giving too much away, there's an I-cord that you create as you're working this pattern. When you get to the 3rd section of the pattern, you start changing the way you're shaping, but maintaining the I-cord along the edge that ends up being seamed. And to be honest, it did not make that much sense to me because I was like, how will I seam an I-cord? It made a little bit more sense to just have 2 flat edges that I could match it, stitch together, and do like an invisible seam. So I changed the directions where basically when you're supposed to slip the stitches to do the I-cord, I worked them as they were part of the row and then just slipped the last stitch. So I created a slip stitch edge along each of the sides, because the way you make it, it is a cowl like this. It is a home plate shape, pentagon. And these sides, one of them is slip stitch in the pattern, one of them is an I-cord. Didn't make much sense. So I was getting slipped stitch edges for both of those. So when I seamed them together, it was super easy. It's also my first time seaming something in a long time. and it was not terrible. It was very short, but I love it. That is FO number 2. I'm actually going to be seeing them this weekend, but I'm not going to be giving this to them. This is going to be a birthday present, I believe, for them, which both of them are later in the year. So I'm going to put these in my pile of projects I'm finishing for this coming Christmas holiday season gifts throughout the year. And I'm really feeling proud about where I am with that. I wanted to do one a month. So far I've done socks for my dad, a shawl for my mom for Mother's Day, this top for Sophia, this, and this cowl, which I'll talk about in a second, for my 2 nieces. And I'll talk a little bit about continued projects. I'm actually ahead of doing one per month, but I want to maintain the speed as long as I'm interested, which is awesome. And I'll talk about what I plan to get on my noodles next for gifts, but that is for a later point. That was FO number 2. FO number 3 was my cabled crop, my Central Ave cabled crop. And this is my chocolate almond butterballs colorway. And you might be saying, Brie, you already finished that. You wore it a few podcasts ago. And you would be right. But you know what I did? I made it better. I decided I wanted the armhole depth that the pattern calls for. That's part of the nice things about the pattern. One of the benefits. Honestly, I'm going to try it on. Part of me is like, maybe I should have made it longer. I don't think so. I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. But I basically picked out the sewn bind off. I know I could have cut it, but it wasn't too hard to pick out. Picked out the sewn bind off, frogged the neck, undid the bind off, the 3-needle bind off at the shoulders, put the front and the back panel back on needles, and then just added a few more inches. Did my shaping for the back again, seam the shoulders, did the neck, and I think I did all of this between Thursday and Saturday. Either Wednesday or Thursday. I picked it up and I did the entire, it was a few inches. But I frogged it all, put it all on needles, then I did the whole back panel. The next day I did the whole front panel, seamed the shoulders. Next day I did the neckband, bound it off on Saturday, and we're good to go. And woven all the ends. It is blocked. I pulled this off the mats and I'm super excited because now I can start wearing this. First, I'm going to take project photos. I'm going to take photos of both of these crops because I think the tonal is really nice, but also the variegated is super fun and a subtle cable, and I want to show both options. So I'm going to take photos of both of those, and then I can start wearing them because I won't be worried about ruining them before the release later this month. That was FO number 3. Now let's talk FO number 4. I cannot believe we have 4 FOs. And yes, it is another Traveler Cowl. The pattern is the Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mowry. I know I just keep saying Traveler Cowl, but that is another pattern. But this is my American rambouillet, like blues and teal sample with some tan. And I love this one so much. The drape of the rambouillet, I think actually this falkland is squishier, but the drape of this one is even more amazing. This is for my other niece. And again, this fiber is a 2-ply rambouillet with the fiber. Both of these are the fiber that is carried in my shop. And this is a true fingering weight. I got 412 yards per 100 grams, but I had 59 grams of this, which was perfect because they said about 60 grams is what would work. I had some leftover. Not enough leftover that I saved, but I had a few grams. So I don't think there was a point in the pattern when you get to here, right? This one I overshot and then I frogged back because I didn't want to play yarn chicken once I realized I was going to run out. I was like, could I have gotten one more repeat? I don't think I would have gotten one more repeat. I was just short of getting one more repeat, I believe, but it is the perfect size and length. I'll show you. I'll throw it on. Over my other shawl. And look how good it is. This is also for my niece who's 4, so she'll be turning 5 by the time she gets it. So I'm glad it's a little bit larger, but it is so beautiful. I did the same thing on the back of this one, and then I seamed it today, and I feel like I'm getting better and better at seaming, and it's so quick. I don't even mind it, but can you tell? Is this my palette? Is it? I think it is, and I love it. And you will definitely be seeing more of those coming soon because I love the pattern. I love knitting with hand spun. I think I said this last week, but I will always have hand spun on my needles because it's amazing. So that's that. Last and final, I'm calling it an FO, and I don't want to hear otherwise because it's my podcast. I get to make the rules, and I'm calling this a finished object for now. This is a bobbin, and yes, it's done. Oh, look at it with my nails. What a beautiful color. This is my, the end is a little wonky. It always gets wonky, right? Because there's no way to draft it well. But this is my Hellosunshine by Nest Fiber Co. My merino flax silk that I picked a lot of the flax out of. There's still a bunch in here, but I picked a bunch out because I learned I don't love flax, and that's okay. But the entire 4-ounce braid is spun, and now it is resting and waiting for the other 2 plies of this to be finished so I can ply them together and then use them for a sweater. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited and happy. This is fairly fine because I'm aiming for a sport weight. A fingering to sport weight, I think it'll be sport weight 3-ply with the other 2 colorways I showed last week, but you'll see one of them today. And I think we should be on point for that. Coming soon. So now that I've talked about all of my finished objects, and those are literally all of the things that you've seen in the past week. So everything I'm about to show you from this point on, you have not seen, which is so cool. Let's talk about those whips I've been working on. Okay, let's talk about my whips. And by whips, I should say whip, because I've done a lot of project planning and getting ready for my whips, but I casted one on and I have not touched anything else since because I am obsessed with it. So this isn't a bag you've seen before, but not for a while. Oh, look at the color of this. Isn't this bag beautiful? This is like a piece of art, and it totally goes with my vibe right now. I hope this is my thumbnail. But this is a bag from Tanny Casey that I got last year at Cake Festival as part of Rhinebeck. And in it, I have something totally new. Also, like, what a vibe. Totally new, something you have not seen yet, and something that is a little bit of a spoiler. A spoiler or a teaser, really, for what's coming soon. You'll hear about it within the next week. But if you watch my YouTube, I guess you get a little sneak peek of it now. This is a colorway from my new collection that is launching in April. I'm not going to say what the collection is. Although I could tell you the name of this. I'm going to see if you can guess. I'm not going to tell you what the collection is. I gave a little hint last week, and now I'm going to show you one of the colorways and see if you can guess the colorway or the collection, because I think that'll be really fun. So this is the colorway. It is on my schooner base, which is my boucle base, and it's like tans and browns and goldens and silvers. And I guess you'll just have to wait and see what it is. But I will show you what it's becoming because I'm really excited about that. It is on a Chiagu size 7 needle. And I have little sheepy stoppers on, which feels very appropriate for like spring and Easter. But I took my Valentine's Day ones off. Didn't feel super ready for summer yet. So I was like, what can I use? And I found these cheap. I was like, these are perfect, especially with this fluffy sweater. Yes, sweater, you heard me right. I cast this on yesterday. And it is going to be another second Ave sweatshirt. Come on, I'm gonna wear this nonstop. I'm never gonna take this off. Look at it. Really. So yesterday I cast this on around 3 in the afternoon and I knit the entire back panel by the time I went to bed. Then this morning I woke up, I picked up the left side, built in the neckline, picked up the right side, built in the neckline, cast on for the next stitches in the middle, and I am almost done. No. I just finished the front panel and joined in the body. I've only worked one round, truly round, because I joined and I had to make sure I did it before I said that. But I love this colorway. I love so much how it's working up, and I love this boucle. I love this pattern. I'm so excited. And I have 2 little progress keepers on, one to show you my progress and one to keep progress for myself. So I put a brownie on here to mark when I show it on the podcast. So I will go and move that right now. And then I have and this is from, I believe Sucra. I'm 99% sure. This is Sucra. If I can only get it clipped in. There we go. And then I have my little snickerdoodle cookie. Super cute. Matches very well. That I will leave on there for myself. This is my one and only whip right now. And my plan is to finish this skein. I wonder how much yardage this is, how many yards this is. Finish this skein maybe by tonight, if not tonight, by tomorrow, because that'll be super cool to finish a skein of yarn in 2 days. And then I will pick up sleeves and work them with this skein, and then I will determine, I have a 3rd skein from this pan, so the same dye lot set aside, to see if I want to leave it cropped or make it full length. I know right now I wear my full length one so much, but my full length one is my one that also has 10 inches of positive ease, as opposed to my cropped, which has 6 inches. And I wish I had done them backwards. I wish I had a cropped with giant ease, so it was oversized and cropped. I just think the tighter fit and the cropped, I'm just wearing it less. I still like it, but I'm finding myself wearing it less. It also has a hood, so I wonder if that's why it feels a little more casual. So I'm definitely not going to do a hood on this one, but I don't know about length yet, and I set a skein aside just in case, so I don't need to make a decision now. But that is my one and only whip. Let's talk a little bit about project plans, what I've caked up, what I'm going to be working on in the next few days, and yeah, I guess it'll talk a little bit about life plans and things like that wrapped into here. So let's talk about that. I have a few projects in project bags that are wound and ready to go, and I thought I would have cast on by this point, but honestly I haven't, because I've been so obsessed with my second Ave sweatshirt, which is patterned by me, I should say that. But I'll show you my plans and what I have set aside. So I've been loving my hand spun. I want to cast on another thing with hand spun, because like I said, I always want to have hand spun on the needles. And this is my first full skein of hand spun. And my first skein of hand spun on a wheel, I did this on my Nano, and it is a little underspun and a little underplied. Not enough, I shouldn't say underplied maybe, loosely plied. It's just not a tight twist consistently. Like there are certainly spots that have a looser ply, but I think it was like the integrity of the yarn is still okay. And this was really fun. I spun it as a fractal with this dark maroon throughout the whole way. And then it was like, I think it was called a bonfire kit. That was 4 shades of a like golden, a fawn, an burnt orange, and a dark brown, the one that's in here. And I just spun those, like split those in half or quarters, I think, and spun them. I don't remember really at this point. But this I'm getting, see my yardage. I'm getting 307 yards to 100 grams. So a sport weight, maybe DK, a heavy sport light DK with this one. And I have a lot of it. I have 160 grams, which is more than I'll need for a Traveler Cowl, but I want to do it. And see, I think I'd wear it a lot. It's definitely a palette that I would wear. So I think I'm going to use it and then see how much yarn I have left. Maybe I'll make another one as a gift for someone else. Who knows? But I have that ready. I have a s'more Progress Keeper ready from Sweet Cherry Jewelry Co., I believe is their official name. I have a Tuft Woolens bar in here. I have my Highland Cow stitch stoppers, which are super cute. Oh, there you go. And those are ready. And in my Black Pearl Magic Converse bag. It feels bright and sunny and springy. And this bag is a little summery, but I think this, I'm just going to use it now because I'm happy. And I have this set up and ready to go and take it with me this weekend because we'll be traveling this weekend and driving 12 hours. Round trip, 12 hours, but Michael drives the entire way, which means a lot of making time for me. I don't find that I take too many breaks when we're driving. I do my best to stop and stretch because that is important for my hands, but I didn't just want to bring my sweater. I also want to have something that's a little bit more portable. Maybe by that point, if I have 2 sleeves done, I'm working on the body. That's like a lot of weight. Or if I get to a point where I need to pick up stitches and be counting, I wanted to have another option with me. So I have this ready and I'm hoping to start this and get through the setup on this before we hit the road. So once we're in the truck, my Jeep, I can just pick it up and roll with it if that's what I'm ready to work on. So that is project plan number 1. I have 2 more projects ready to go, and this kind of counts as an acquisition. And I'll show them both, but I don't know that they'll both be started by the next time you see them. This is a new bag I got from Songbird Handmade. You know I love their bags. This is a large bag, I believe. No, what? Did she change her sizing? No, her large bag only has 1 handle. This is a medium drawstring bag. Maybe my other ones are smalls. This is large. I have 2 skeins in it, and I can fit 6 skeins in here easily and a project. So, but it's so pretty and it matches my yarn. I just wanted to use it, okay? So that's what that bag is. And in it, you will find another new colorway that also matches my palette. Oh, wouldn't that be nice in a fade? Okay, let's just talk about this. So this is Down the Shore. This is my new colorway. Wouldn't they fade together so well? This has much darker browns and rusty oranges and deeper blues, but I think that'd be cool. This is another colorway for my new collection. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. I almost did. But again, guess down below if you can think, you know, the name or what you think this is, or just the collection of colorways that is coming And this one might be a little tricky. But if you know me, you know when I use food and food pictures, sometimes there's a plate or a utensil or something else in the photo that gives some color to something that might not otherwise be super colorful. I'm not saying I did it for this, but you know, just saying, reminding you. But I have 2 skeins of this colorway wound up, and this is on my laser base, which is a single ply, which is really fun. I think for summery garments, it's super lightweight. The drape is awesome. And I don't know, it's just light and fun. I like the way it takes colors. And I have some stitch markers ready for you, my little donut seashell charm, and then a piece of chocolate cake. You can tell they're all food inspired charms, just saying. But I am going to use this to make a second sample of my low tide tee, which is a top. I was teasing this last fall. That is going to go into testing very soon, within the next month for sure, but ideally the next 2 or 3 weeks. 2 weeks would be really nice. So I wanted to make a second sample. I think I did all the math for that one and then cast on and made it, but now it would be really nice if I wrote up the pattern, got it tech edited, and then made my second sample following that. Although I'm planning to cast on this weekend, so I don't know if that'll happen fully, but we'll see. So I'm gonna bring this with me in case I finish my other projects and I need a third one, I have this ready to go. Now that I say all of this out loud, I think I feel okay not bringing this 4th and final project for this trip that we're gonna be on for 2 days. I guess we'll see how far I am on my sweatshirt and what decisions I make about that. I'm thinking the chances on bringing this are low. The chances of casting this on are almost 0, but I have it ready just in case. This is in a beautiful sister bag, a heather. This style is called heather, but it's this cactus bag that is so much fun that I got at Woolen Folk this year. And inside, I have a single skein. Again, that is a new colorway that you have not seen, and I'm not going to tell you the name. I think you will be as surprised as I am that this is the colorway I chose to cast on something for myself, because it is not my traditional palette. But it is so much stinking fun. Look at it. I can't get over it. And I threw some charms on here that are semi-food related, but they're bright and poppy and summery. So I have a banana and a lobster claw. And I will say these are loosely related to the yarn. I just love this lobster claw so much. Loosely. One is more related than the other. But this is in here, and this is going to be a new design for summer. Found a chapstick. It's like a game. I hope you all join me every time I find a chapstick and put it on. I hope you also put chapstick on for yourself. But this is going to be a new tank design for summer, and it's going to be super quick and easy, and the math is pretty much done. So maybe I should just bring it. It doesn't take up that much space. We'll see. We'll see where I am in 2 days on Thursday on my sweatshirt, if I've cast it on my cowl, where I'm at with my projects, and this may or may not be coming with me, but if it doesn't, it will be cast on probably next week. And you might be like, Brie, I thought you were a monogamous knitter. And I am, which is why I've only been working on my second-half sweatshirt. But when I travel, I like to have lots of projects with me, because I think apparently I'm going to knit for 40 hours and finish all of these things. I need to knit for more than 40 hours to get this done. I don't know. We'll see. I do have one more project plan that it'll get started before I leave, but it won't be anywhere close to done. And that is the next colorway on my spin for that 3-ply that I showed you. Wow, this is so soft after feeling other things. So this is Hellosunshine. This is my what's it called? Noob by Malabrigo, Noob, and this is the Arco Iris colorway. And I have my braid split in half, so I have 2 ounces and 2 ounces. And I'm gonna start spinning this. I honestly might split it in half again. I like drafting from a thin thing, a fiber. So maybe I'll split this in half again, each one, and then start spinning this. And that is what's coming next on my wheel. I don't have any other plans. That's enough. That will carry me through the next month. So we'll see, actually. I think it might only be a week or 2 to get all of these projects on and off my needles. But let's talk really quickly about what's in the shop and some reminders so you don't miss out on anything fun. All right, a few things in the shop. One, I already talked about so much last week and y'all have been loving it, but my Moana countdown is in the shop. I changed one thing from when I spoke about it. I decided to try and keep things more accessible financially to do a 15-day and a 30-day. So that way, if you add on a full skein, you get 16 days or 31 days. But it just gives a little bit more flexibility. Also, it's just easier number-wise to do half of a full. If I'm doing a full 30-day calendar, it's easier to do half of it. For the people who have a half box, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But those are all available in the shop. On my Sunfish and my DK base, my 15-day, 30-day, and single-day boxes for July, and I am so excited to see how much you love them. Another thing that's in my shop, I didn't bring it up here, but my March clubs are still available in my shop. We have Gilmore Girls, I Can't Get Started, and we have my From the Open Road Horseshoe Bend. Sorry, I knew I messed it up last time. Horseshoe Bend, which is really fun and earthy and neutral. If you missed those, check out last week's podcast. Those are still available in the shop through probably later next week. So you still have about a week to get your orders in, but maybe a little bit less. If you know you want one, get them in now. Available on all of my bases and also fiber, which is super exciting. Maybe you will join me and grab some fiber for your own Traveler Cowl. Maybe. But the last thing I wanted to talk about that's in the shop is something really, really exciting. It's a secret I've been keeping for over a year, and we finally released all the details last Friday so I can talk about it. I wanted to talk about it so badly in last week's podcast, but I couldn't. I teamed up with my friend about a year ago, my friend Chantel of Knititude, and I were talking, and people had really been loving her sweater scarves, which are amazing. If you haven't seen them, if you're not following Knititude, what are you doing? Go follow her, go check out her sweater scarves. And she was like, wouldn't it be fun to do a fuzzy one? I was like, oh my gosh, like Surrey. So we got to chatting. We said, what if I dyed up a colorway inspired by you and your style and your palette? And then he used it, and we just got super excited. And then in the months that followed, maybe a month or 2, she kept getting, hey, is there going to be a crochet version? So she decided to bring our friend Courtney of I Love Tinderbox into the loop and make a crochet version of a sweater scarf, which hadn't been done before, in collaboration with Knititude, at least. I don't know if other people have made them. But of course, then I had to design a colorway, an exclusive colorway for Courtney. It is so much fun. They are so different, and they so perfectly capture each of their palettes and their styles, and I love them so much. I honestly don't know which one I love more. They're just different vibes. But we've been keeping that secret for about a year, I think since last May. And this past Friday, both colorways launched on my website as pre-orders to be dyed next week. I'm going to keep the pre-order open, but I'm going to start dyeing next week as like a first come, first serve. So the earlier you order, the earlier you will get your yarn, and they will go out if you order by next week in time for the sweater scarf release which is happening on April 5th. It's called the Cloudscape Knit Sweater Scarf and the Cloudscape Crochet Sweater Scarf. And here is the yarn. They're so beautiful. So this one, can you guess who it's for? This one is for Chantel, and this is called Pearlescent. And the image we were going from is this really cool, like iridescent pinks and blues and pastels and mauves and purples. And it's so perfectly her. It's so perfectly like mountains when she wears it with her wedding dress. I love it so much. I think my older sister would love this. And she's also wanted a sweater scarf for a while. So I might be making her one for Christmas, which could be part of my monthly gift plans at some point this year. And then the other colorway, this one's Courtney's, is called Desert Bloom. And this one, you know, this speaks to my heart. It's like tans and browns and goldens, olive greens, mauves, all of these beautiful layers of color that are like super soft and earthy. And I love this one. And I want to make something for myself in this. I have not made my own sweater scarf yet, but I think I am going to make one. I don't know if I'm going to use one of these colorways or I'm going to pull a fade from my shop. My mom really wants one, so it might be a Christmas present for her, if I'm being honest. And I have so much Surrey and mohair available in my shop that I might pull some things out and see if I could find 1 or 2 or 3 skeins that fade well together and then make a faded Cloudscape knit sweater scarf. And I am so excited. But if you want to join me, both of these colorways are available. Both of these colorways are available on my shop, or there are a lot of Surrey and mohair ready to ship skeins in the shop that you can filter by base. If you go to the ready to ship section in my shop and then filter, you could choose those 2 bases. And a few of them have 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 skeins, like multiples of the same colorway. So you can definitely grab 2 or 3 skeins of the same, or send me an email, find a few that you like, and we can build a really cool fade together. So I think that would be super awesome. That is the last thing that I wanted to talk about in the shop for now. Until I talk about my newest collection, probably next week, because I'm not going to be able to keep the secret that much longer. But if you want to start seeing sneak peeks and colorways for that collection, make sure you're following me on Instagram at thelittlewolfknits and subscribe to my newsletter, which you could find on my website or my Instagram, the link in my bio, and you will be the first to hear about all of the Yarny collections. Okay, last thing, let's talk really quickly about life stuff, and then I have to go to work. Life stuff. So last week, I think I podcasted on Tuesday, and it is now Tuesday, March 12th. So last Tuesday, we went to see a movie. Did we see Dune? Did I podcast on Tuesday? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, because then I was talking about finishing this. So I finished the back of this. In Dune, and then Wednesday I finished this. I think that's what we did. If we saw Dune 2, it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, or you haven't seen Dune 1, I definitely recommend both of them. I think I tend to be a little bit confused. Like I would have preferred to read the book, honestly, if I knew it was a book before I saw the movie. Because there are so many characters and new ideas and families and things to follow, and I get like that with shows and movies. It's a little bit easier if I've read it and spent more time with it, but just asked a few questions and stumped Michael with some of my questions, but it was really, really enjoyable. We loved it. We finished season 6 of Game of Thrones. We are on season 7. Things are still wild in that show, and we're loving every minute of it. What else happened? I had a book club chat with my book club, with my wolf pack last week. Friday, we headed to New Jersey and hung out with the family, did a bunch of knitting. Saturday, I had a bridal shower for my dear, dear friend, my best friend who officiated my wedding, Jenna Rose, and I brought her some yarn, which I think she was really excited about, so that was super fun. And then Sunday, we really just hung out, I did a lot of knitting, a lot of making. We dyed Easter eggs, which we do as a family every single year since I'm born. We have not missed a year, even when I was living in Texas. We FaceTime and dyed Easter eggs together. So super fun that we got to do that this year. Michael already made ours into egg salad, so I can't show you any of our eggs, but I made some really cute ones, and he made some hilarious ones. I don't have pictures, so I won't insert them here, but they were really, really funny. I had like a sunset scene with some bunny prints. I had an Easter egg. I had a carrot. It was cute. It looked like a carrot and had like greens on top. And then I made one for Rocco. Michael made a zombie, a sheriff who was haunted by his past, and one other one that I don't know, so silly. And he had a backstory for all of them. It was hilarious. But we did that Sunday, and then we watched the first Lord of the Rings movie. I've never seen them. They were Michael's favorite series. So after we watched my series with my family, he was like, can we watch Lord of the Rings? We all said, sure. And he had us watch the extended version, which is 4 hours long. So we started on Saturday. We finished it on Sunday, and then we drove back and got home at like 12:30. It was good. It was fine. I don't think it has the nostalgia for me that it does for a lot of other people. I wish I had seen it as a kid. I probably would have liked it a lot more. But we'll watch the other ones. It makes them so happy. And between that, getting home so late, and the time change, my schedule has been totally off. So I've just been trying to calibrate and get back on a schedule. Take it a little bit easy this week because we're going to have some busy weekends this weekend, particularly traveling. So that's the plan. I don't think I have anything else to say. I'm just being rambly at this point, and I need to jet. So it was so great hanging out with you and talking with you this week. It ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. And I cannot wait to see you next week and see just what I have finished or worked on since we talked today. I hope you get lots of knitting done, or crocheting, or baking, or whatever it is, spinning, that you want to do this week. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.